Hello, welcome to this video. Here we are going to talk about fractions. A fraction is a term that can be expressed as a over b, where a and b are integers and b is not equal to 0. For a fraction, a over b, a, the integer on top, is called the numerator, and b, the integer at the bottom, is called the denominator. Fraction equals numerator over denominator, where denominator is not equal to 0. For example, 4 over 6. Here 4 and 6 are integers. 4 is the numerator and 6 is the denominator. 6 over 5. Here 6 and 5 are integers. 6 is the numerator and 5 is the denominator. Fractions can also be seen as a part of a whole. In our previous example, 4 over 6 means 4 parts of a whole consisting of 6 parts. Let's look at it geometrically. Let's say I have a loaf of bread, which I divide into 6 equal parts, and I used 4 parts out of the 6 parts with my family for breakfast. 4 out of a total of 6. Fraction equals number of parts being considered over total number of parts in one whole. A fraction is not an integer. For example, a over b is not an integer, although a is an integer and b is a non-zero integer. A fraction can be proper or improper. A fraction is said to be a proper fraction if the numerator is less than the denominator. For example, 3 over 4. The denominator is 4, and the numerator is 3. The numerator, 3, is less than the denominator, 4. Thus, 3 over 4 is a proper fraction. A fraction is said to be an improper fraction if the numerator is greater than the denominator. An improper fraction arises when parts of a whole are added to some wholes. For example, 2 plus 3 over 4. 2 plus 3 over 4 equals 2 wholes of 4 parts each whole, plus 3 parts over 4 parts by 1 whole. Equals 8 parts plus 3 parts over 4 parts by 1 whole. Equals 11 parts over 4 parts by 1 whole equals 11 over 4. The numerator is 11, and the denominator is 4. The numerator, 11, is greater than the denominator, 4. Thus, 11 over 4 is an improper fraction. 4 parts out of a total of 4 plus 4 parts out of a total of 4 means 2 wholes of 4 parts when added to 3 parts out of a total of 4. Number of parts equals 2 wholes of 4 parts plus 3 parts equals 8 parts plus 3 parts equals 11 parts. Number of parts in one whole equals 4 parts. Therefore, fraction equals number of parts being considered over total number of parts in one whole equals 11 over 4. A fraction is said to be in its simplest form if the numerator and the denominator have no common factors apart from 1. For example, 3 over 6. Here the numerator 3 has 3 as its only factor apart from 1, and the denominator 6 has 2, 3, and 6 as its factors apart from 1. We can see that the numerator and the denominator each has 3 in their factors. This means that the fraction 3 over 6 is not in its simplest form. 8 over 3. Here the numerator 8 has 2, 4, and 8 as its factors apart from 1, and the denominator 3 has 3 as its only factor apart from 1. We can see that the numerator and the denominator have no other common factor apart from 1. This means that the fraction 8 over 3 is in its simplest form.